Welcome back to Views with Hughes, your agenda for news. I'm Jerome Hughes. And if you haven't done so, please subscribe to the channel and also click on the bell notifications. So that way you'll be alerted of future uploads and updates. All right. So I got two topics for you. One is the main story, and the second one is a bonus. The main story is about Johnny Depp making a big comeback. All right. So there's many media outlets reporting this news. So it was reported last night, and then I'm talking about this morning. Okay. So, Bounding in the Comics shares that Johnny Depp begins a major comeback where he's signing a major deal, and also other outlets like Giant Freaking Robot, they also reported that Johnny Depp signs a 7-figure deal and a huge return contract. All right, so let's see. So it says here that like after his defamation hearing victory from ex-wife Amber Heard, Johnny Depp's begun his return to Hollywood in a big way, as recent days have seen the actor both sign a major deal with a fashion brand Christian Dior and unveiled himself as Louis the 15th for his first film in 3 years, John Du Barry. Okay, so so then it's like this is like really big for him because of the fact that it shows that everybody still loves Johnny Depp, and who hasn't betrayed him, Johnny Depp in these times? Places like Dior. All right, so Warner Brothers messed up on the and Sarnoff, of course, and then there was also Disney. All right, when Bob Iger was still CEO. All right, so now we see that Johnny Depp is returning to Dior and everything, where he was famous for being the face for their 2015 line of Sauvage cologne until the spots were pulled after Amber Heard's allegations. Well, now I take that back. They weren't really supportive if his spots were pulled from their ads. Okay. But I'm guessing, he forgives them and everything. And now, continuing on with looking to come back. So he probably healed or still healing, but it's getting further along in the healing process. Okay, so then on Instagram, Dior was sharing a series of photos taken of the actor by the photographer Greg Williams during his Paris stop. So I want to say, wait, was this after the verdict or before the verdict was given? Because that's a good question. But that's let me know in the comments what you think. Okay, so they did a Photoshop during his Paris visit, and Jeff Beck's recent string of European concerts. The brand described their new spokesman with the slogan "Fearless yet human," just like Sauvage. So now they're stating that it seems to me like they're using a marketing ploy to get people to buy their product and everything to describe Johnny Depp as being fearless yet human because of the fact that he wasn't afraid to go ahead, come forward. He wasn't afraid to go far. Now, will that work? Will that get like a lot of men to go ahead buy the cologne? Possibly. Might have a number of men. But me, I don't really wear Dior myself, so I wouldn't know. But anyway, that's just, I'm not making this about me. So, according to TMZ, Depp's new contract will see the actor net like 7 figures through the outlet, though the outlet did not provide details to the exact amount. Okay, so that's why I was trying to look up myself. How much is it? Okay, but I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty sure that this might not have been put out there due to like a possible further legal issues that Amber Heard might bring up against Johnny Depp again. All right, so, and not to mention, it's not really our business, but it's for like the over the course of a multi-year campaign. Okay, so we may see him more pictures, commercials, so on and so forth. Will he be in the commercials during in an upcoming few weeks or upcoming NFL football season? We don't know, but we shall see about that. Okay, and then 2 days later, French film production released the first image of Depp as King Louis XV in the upcoming historical romance John Du Barry. So he's playing the King Louis XV, and it says directed by French filmmaker Malouin. One name, okay, who will also co-star in the film as the eponymous French Fortesian and based on a screenplay penned by herself and Le Prix du, I'm just saying the English version, The Prince of Success. Teddy Lucy Modesty, Jean Dubarry will recount a dramatized version of the life of King Louis XV's third and final mistress. The king got around. All right, so will it be will anyone like anticipate the movie? I mean, most likely could be women who defended Johnny Depp in the trial itself, and you might also have a few men out there going to see it just because just is Johnny Depp making a comeback, and this is really good for him because he was able to overcome a major obstacle where he's losing contracts, losing deals, and being fired from different film projects over accusations from his ex-wife Amber Heard. And this also proves that this is how far a man has to go in order to prove his innocence. After all these years and with all these court dates and the court appearances, testimonies, proofs, evidences, so on and so forth, and witnesses, they gotta prove we gotta prove ourselves innocent, while one woman can just simply hurl out the accusation and everybody believes her. Okay? So that's what it basically comes down to. All right. It's all the evidence in the court that was presented, and it's like the jury found, and I believe this too, that the evidence against him was false, that he was actually, lied about and slandered. He didn't really they abused each other, but she had a major part in it. Okay. So it says here back in the article, though the specific details regarding its plot has been kept mum or quiet by the studio. So in other words, they don't want to have any leaks and stuff about any details and everything. But those who are French historians and stuff who might know the history of King Louis XV probably know what happened. So, but it's like, since they're also stating that, the details kept quiet by the studio, then there's going to be some things added to the story, the original story itself. Okay, so there might be some events that aren't true, others that are true, and so on and so forth. Okay, so the film's going to touch upon such monumental events in Barry's life as her birth into poverty, her scandal-inducing presentation to the court at Versailles, and her eventual exile by Marie Antoinette following the death of the king. Ooh, so we got Marie Antoinette in here. Okay, so now it's a movie with a lot of mess, or people who starts a lot of mess, because last we checked, Marie Antoinette, she's not really doesn't have much of a clean slate herself, because spoiler alert, her lavish living and stuff and forced the country into poverty, and then that's when she was executed. All right. So whether the film will touch upon the can of worms that is the diamond necklace affair, an innocuous scandal surrounding payments of a piece of jewelry which will eventually help pave the way for the French Revolution, is currently anyone's guess. I might see the movie if the trailer's looking good. I might see it. So this article goes into detail about what happened, the defamation trial, and what led to the defamation trial from the article intended to defame Johnny Depp, and Heard was responsible for that publication. And then they also told the results about how the jury found not only that Heard did indeed defame Depp with the statements, but they also found that the actress acted with malice in publishing them. Okay, so the jury awarded Depp $10 million for Heard's defamatory statements and $5 million for her responsibility in publishing them, and the latter capped at $300,000 as per Virginia law. Okay, so there was also a case of Heard's $100 million counter defamation claim. The same jury found in favor of the actress, but she only got a small portion of it, where she was only rewarded $2 million of damages. With this multi-million-dollar deal, Johnny Depp came, I'm pretty sure he probably started paying her the $2 million now, or he's going to pay it soon. Either way, with the kind of deal he's about to get, it probably will be basically chump change. Okay, So that's what I'm thinking and everything. So let me know your thoughts about this in the comments. And like I said earlier, got a bonus article to talk about. We're still on Bounding into Bounding into Comics, where DC penciler or writer Chris Wozniak accuses director Matt Reeves of stealing his original ideas for the Batman film, and also provides new evidence to back his claims. So this came from a YouTube video that was put out there, where they stated, the creator stated how Matt Reeves stole someone's idea to make the Batman movie. Okay, now before I start reading this, my question is, exactly how much of, like, if he stole his ideas and everything, how much did Matt Reeves put into it? Like, what I mean by that is that those of you who actually watched the Batman movie and everything noticed that there was a part in there where Catwoman was looking to kill off all the billionaires and all the rich white men. Okay, all the straight white men who were either rich or or basically have higher power. Okay, and same thing the Riddler did. So there was like a lot of virtue signaling in the movie, and I was wondering if that was the only part from the script that Matt Reeves had put in there that was from him. If he actually stole Wozniak's ideas. All right. So it says here, moreover, well, no, go back up here. In the sea of trending DC news about the Snyderverse, cancel movies, and the Flash actor Ezra Miller developing story concerning the Batman, particularly the originality of the film script, is lost amongst the waves. Now, let me remind you all this. This movie was put out there under Ann Sarnoff, okay? Has nothing to do, of course, with David Zaslav, all right? So all of this was done under the prior administration under Ann Sarnoff, as well as Walter Hamada and others, okay? So it has nothing to do with David Zaslav and the current state of DC EU, right? And it continues, moreover, if it's accurate, it will prove it to be a damaged indictment of director Matt Reeves, longtime Batman film producer Michael Osland, and the lows Warner Brothers is willing to go to change course with a property when the things at the studio are in flux. All right, so it goes on to say that over a month ago, former penciler for Batman comics Chris Wozniak uploaded a video that aimed to show Reeves ripped off beat for beat an outline for the story he wrote in 1990 and later submitted to Uslan. He's now followed that up with the sequel he promised and added his voice literally to the controversy. I'll be honest with y'all, I think I might have mispronounced the film producer's name, Michael Uslan, wrong. Okay, so forgive me for that. And also, if I did mispronounce it, let me know in the comments. If I pronounce it correctly, let me know that in the comments as well. So it says that they started to call this Batman Gate 2. All right, so it's like that's what the name of the YouTube video is called. And now we have like where they're comparing, the notes to what the movie stated. Okay, so Weinstein's plot and Batman plot says here that Batman, gotta lean in. Batman at the end of the career, Batman in the beginning of career, criminal banking conglomerate, crime syndicate. So there's like a number of details here that shows the similarities the stars with the spots that have stars where they're similar. Okay, so it says here Wozniak had in mind a criminal banking conglomerate and economic collapse as the causes, which Reeves substituted with organized crime and broad systemic corruption, white men in power that have been corrupt, punctuated by misuse of renewal fund. So he was quoted saying both stories, despite their differences, play out exactly the same beats, same plot, twist, same character motivations, ending. And that is because these are not differences. These are rewrites. I like how he put that. He said people would say that these are just different things in the story. He's telling y'all these are not differences; they're rewrites. They're just basically similar in details, but they were rewritten and everything just to come off as if it's not being taken. And to come off as it not being taken. So I've always thought of Matt Reeves not being original for the first part because, for one, the person who taught him the ins and outs of directing in Hollywood was J.J. Abrams, or as Doomcock called him, Jar Jar Abrams. All right. So it goes on to say that there are two sequences within the Batman that make no sense when scrutinized, but they fit right into Wozniak's storyline. This is where it gets juicy. One is at the beginning when punks vandalized a bank that went under. A full-blown, I remember that part too. A full-blown economic collapse doesn't occur in the film, so it's argued its incident is totally out of place. The other twist is that the climax, when Batman injects himself with green serums to stay in the fight against Riddler's radicalized followers in Gotham Square Garden, was like their version of Madison Square Garden. Although it could be explained away easily as adrenaline, the substance ultimately has no justification in the fight except tension. Wozniak, however, it did serve a purpose in his story. Batman finding out, and I was wondering about that too. Like, what was the point of that? Like, what was the significance of it? Like, by the way, they had it played out, how they were showing it. So Batman finding out he was poisoned with a slow-acting toxin, needed an antidote in his final battle with Riddler, and takes it with him. Okay, so now we have that, they easily explained it as adrenaline. That's what they had us to assume that it was. But Wozniak did actually served the purpose where he was sprayed by an agent from the Riddler. And he was going in slow active pain. He was slowing down. That's when the Riddler would have the advantage over him. And he would just go ahead and use that particular agent to get back in the fight. All right? Or that antidote, not agent. So it says here, both cases present an inconsistency within the Batman that mostly goes unnoticed. But if Wozniak contends that they are leftover ideas of his that further Reeves copied a treatment given to him rather than grabbing coincidentally similar tropes out of thin air. So in other words, he just told Reeves to use it as an outline, but Reeves stole it and made it his own by doing a lot of rewrites. Okay, and it gets more interesting in two other scenes Wozniak used to make his case. The DC penciler also reveals his video that he came up with the scene where the mayor was attacked in his home by the Riddler, and the one in which Alfred was nearly killed in an explosion. So basically, now we're seeing that Matt Reeves is stealing ideas we're taking ideas without consent. Okay. My thing is exactly how much involvement did the executives also have in it? How much did they approve of it? Or did they approve of all of it, or were they oblivious to it? But in the case of compositing characters, the first scene was rewritten to include the mayor instead of Alfred, who the Riddler originally attacked in Wozniak's treatment. Conversely, Alfred replaced Barbara Gordon in the latter case due to age and not being present in Reeves' movie. Okay? So it goes into detail that Wozniak knows Reeves and Erskine can laugh at his claims all the way to the bank, but he didn't but he defies them to refute his evidence as nothing more than coincidence, when that would be statistically impossible, which he argued. And nothing may come of this of Chris Wozniak's Batman Gate campaign, though he teases a third video at the end of the second one, as well as urging Bat fans everywhere to stand up and speak out in the name of righting a wrong. All right, so let me know what you all think about this. Let me also know your thoughts about Johnny Depp's comeback move and the deal. Like, how much do you think the deal might be? And also, does Wozniak have a case that Reeves and stole his ideas to make him his own for a script, where he also added some further virtue signaling. All right. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And also, if I went wrong anywhere of any details in the video, please let me know in the comments below. And also, if you enjoyed the things I shared in this video, please hit that like button. And also, if you haven't done so yet, subscribe to the channel and also click the bell notification so that way you'll be notified of future uploads. Until then, peace.